Hello everyone, my name is Lorden May Mordeno Aguilar, and today I'll be presenting my work titled Examining Learning Theories and Teaching Practices in an International Early Years Setting. This presentation will explore how teaching methods, classroom interactions, and assessment practices influence student learning and motivation in an international early years context. Here's an overview of what I will cover in this presentation. First, I will begin with a teaching method analysis where I will discuss the main approach used in our school. Next, I'll look at classroom interaction and motivation, highlighting how teacher-student relationships influence learning. Then, I will also present an assessment practice evaluation explaining the current assessment methods used in our setting. Finally, I will provide an analysis of assessment and recommendations for improvement. Our school follows a play and inquiry-based learning approach inspired by constructivist theory. This means that children learn best through hands-on experiences, exploration, and curiosity-driven activities. Among its strengths, this approach encourages active engagement and builds both social and cognitive skills. It allows children to take ownership of their learning while developing creativity and problem-solving abilities. However, there are also some limitations. It requires strong teacher facilitation to guide learning effectively, and some children may struggle when faced with open-ended tasks that don't have a clear right answer. For example, during a Jolly Phonics activity, children explore letter sounds through playful scenarios. The teacher supports this by asking guiding questions, helping them connect sounds to letters in a meaningful way. For the classroom interaction and motivation, in our international early years setting, teacher-student interactions are warm, responsive, and rich in language. This kind of interaction helps children feel a sense of belonging and motivation to learn. Teachers use positive reinforcement and open-ended questioning to support discovery and independent thinking. Like for instance, instead of giving direct answers, a teacher might ask, "What do you think will happen if we add more water to this cup?" These small interactions have a big impact. They build children's confidence, support emotional safety, and make learning more engaging. This aligns with Vygotsky's theory, which highlights the importance of social interaction in learning, and Dewey's belief that experience strengthens understanding. For our next slide, assessment practice evaluation. In our setting, assessment is mainly formative, based on daily observations of children's progress. Teachers document learning using photos, anecdotal records, and portfolio evidence. This kind of assessment helps teachers plan more effectively and gives parents a clearer picture of their child's development. It also engages students by recognizing their growth over time. However, a limitation is that this process can be time-consuming and depends on the teacher's interpretation. It requires consistent effort and reflection to ensure that observations accurately represent each child's learning journey. Analysis of assessment. Based on constructivist theories from Piaget and Vygotsky, assessment should not just measure outcomes. It should be ongoing, interactive, and reflective. This means assessment becomes part of the learning process itself. To make it more effective, I recommend the following improvements. First, using digital portfolios can help document progress more efficiently. Second, including peer and self-assessment activities will allow children to reflect on their learning in simple, age-appropriate ways. And third, conducting regular parent feedback sessions will build stronger collaboration between home and school. The goal is to make assessment more meaningful, manageable, and supportive of learning. To summarize, there are several key takeaways from this presentation. First, play and inquiry-based teaching promotes curiosity, creativity, and autonomy in young learners. Second, positive teacher-student relationships enhance motivation, confidence, and engagement. Third, formative assessment aligns closely with constructivist principles supporting continuous growth. To strengthen current practices, we can integrate digital tools, promote collaborative reflection, and ensure that assessments are clearly connected to learning theories. In conclusion, when theory and practice work together, learning becomes deeper, more motivating, and more holistic for every child. Here are the key references that guide my practice, including works by Dewey, Freire, Vygotsky, and resources from Simply Psychology that explain constructivism in teaching and learning. Thank you for watching my presentation. I hope this reflection shows how theory and practice come together to create meaningful, child-centered learning experiences in the early years.